All right, tap. Is this thing on? I think it's on. We are live. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome to the morning show here on Stock Market TV. Spencer, Steve, Alfonso, JC, the whole gang with you this morning. What are we talking about? Let's see. We're talking about bonds, maybe a little bit. Talking about S&P equal weight. We'll talk about Workday, Kava. Have you seen this Kava? It's like everyone's going to this restaurant. It can't stop going up. It's crazy. We'll talk about that. Some interesting news from Uber and GM. I want to hit on that as well. The guests today, Fridays are always busy, right? We have Kenny, we have Alfonso, we have Louie because it's Crypto Friday, and today we have Dr. Phil Pearlman in the house. So a lot to get to. Enough about me. Let's just go. Let's just start the show. Just start.
All right, we back. We out here. How long have we been doing? How long have we been doing the morning show? You guys keep track? Are we? We're past the 1 year, right?
We are way past it. The first show was May. I want to say 18th, May 17th, 2023.
May 17th, 2023 was the first time we did the morning show.
Yep.
Wow, how about that?
Still
haven't gotten canceled, despite all the dumb shit that comes out of y'all mouths. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean,
no,
I don't know what to say to that.
They're like, JC, you're the one.
I didn't say anything. My mouth.
Something I didn't see coming. The shirt that Strazza has on is the most popular. Not that we sell merch or anything. You gotta hang out with us to get it for free. We're swinging by the San Diego studio, but that one, you didn't see it coming. The one Strazza's wearing is the most popular of all of them.
It's literally my least favorite.
It's not really one of my favorites either. I like the Fibonacci ones and stuff like that, but people love it.
The 1.618 Sell Puts Naked is my favorite.
It's a little risque. Strazza's like, I don't care. I wear it on planes.
Yeah, that's
I'm sitting there on the plane and like minding my own business, trying to read my book, and then here comes Strazza walking into the plane. This is like last year at some point. Walking into the plane with his Sell Puts Naked t-shirt and his shit-eating grin on his face.
I'm trying to sit at an airport bar and talk about selling puts naked with the guy next to me. That's what I'm trying to do at the airport.
Oh my God. So the country club that they now let me be a part of, they have this thing called Bulls, Bears, and Bourbon or something like that is called. I'm not going to be there because I'm going to be with you guys in Chicago. But like the country club has like this thing where if you want to talk about markets,
that's
people
awesome.
get together. That's pretty cool. Should I go to that in the future?
You're going to go. Yeah, you're definitely going to go.
He's going to be the class president.
No, but I'm going to go in there. I'm not going to say anything about the market. I'm just going to observe, take notes, right? So I'm going to look at it from a contrarian perspective. Okay. I can't go in there telling them I'm going to look at y'all like contrarians. No. But I'm going to be fading everything in that meeting, I think.
Yeah, you just go mingle. Go mingle. See what that's like.
Go mingle. I'll tell everybody I'm a plumber.
They're contrarian unless you agree with them, in which case they're smart.
In the whole thing of when you have to fill out all these forms, it's like crazy. It's like applying for college or something. So I kept all the Wall Street stuff out of there. I just a winemaker, certified sommelier. You think that's bad, or should I have gone into the details?
It's fine.
Like, where do we start? It's like, well,
I wouldn't worry. I wouldn't worry about it. Let's talk markets.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got some action here this morning. I don't know if you noticed. Markets are moving. Markets are moving big time. So you got the Dow futures this morning up 170 points. NASDAQ 100 futures up 160 points. So it's almost 0.5% for the Dow, sitting at 41,000. NASDAQ 100 up almost a full percent, 19,750. S&P futures up 0.5%, 56.25, up 30 points on the S&P this morning. 30-year bond futures flat above 124. Crude oil up almost 2%, back above 74. Copper up 0.5%, 416 there. Gold up again. What else is new? 25.35, up 0.75%. Silver up 1.5%. That puts it just under 30, right around 29.5 for silver, with the VIX back at 16. And of course, over in the funny money, you got Bitcoin up 1%. It's about 550 points, just under 61,000. Ethereum up over 1%, 2660. Solana flat on the day, 144. Binance flat on the day, 580 or so. Total crypto market cap, Spencer Israel, 2.18 trillion. Bitcoin dominance just under 57%. What stands out the most this morning?
Nothing.
Nothing.
In
You
the
don't think it's
futures market?
futures?
Not a ton stands out in like the overnight market, besides the fact that we're green in most things.
And what about the fact that why don't you throw up slide? Why don't you throw? It might already be up there. Yeah, throw up slide 2, please, Spencer. This was the biggest thing that stood out to me yesterday in yesterday's tape. This is the S&P 500 Financials Index, arguably one of the most important baskets of stocks on the planet, including Berkshire Hathaway, JP Morgan, Visa, MasterCard, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, American Express, Morgan Stanley, S&P Global. These are pretty important companies. I don't think anybody's going to disagree there. All-time high yesterday. Are you entertained, Strazza?
Yeah, it's important, right? Like, let's stick the landing. I think industrials, same thing. Let's stick the landing. I wouldn't call this a breakout yet, but we're getting there.
What about the breakout from that consolidation since March? You know, when a lot of the internals were peaking in February, March, we're above those levels. How about that? Is that important to you?
Not really. When you zoom out,
really? You don't
yeah.
think, like, you know, when you look at these consolidations like healthcare, industrials, financials, even materials, you know, that haven't done much since the end of the first quarter, since the middle of the first quarter, you don't think being above those highs is important? You know how Grant anchors to like the 2021 highs, anchors to the 2018 highs, anchors to last year's highs?
Who? What?
Yeah, you know that chart of percentage of stocks in the S&P 500 that are above?
Oh, the colorful chart. Yeah.
Colorful chart.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that the number of stocks that are above their Q1 highs, that continues to increase. I think that's a big deal. You don't think that that's evidence of things getting better versus what they keep telling us, that things keep getting worse, but mathematically things keep improving?
I don't think anybody's saying things are getting worse.
Oh,
Market's doing
yes,
great.
they are. You might not be. What do you mean people aren't saying things are getting worse? They're telling me that the market's going to crash any day now, and the economy and the recession and the Kamala and the, you know, like, what do you mean? Every day they're telling me that I'm a perma bull.
People sound overwhelmingly bullish out there still. That whole VIX event really didn't spook many people from what I saw.
Oh no, it was the largest decline in bulls in investors' intelligence since 1987.
We're still closer to bearish ranges in sentiment than bullish ones.
But you would agree that it's in the middle.
I think it's closer to the bearish range than the bullish range.
Well, it is closer to the bearish range, but it's in the middle. So there's no extreme there in any way.
It's not at an extreme, but it's not in the middle. Now the chart
is. It's somewhere in the middle where it normally is. So it doesn't mean anything. But you can't say that sentiment is a headwind.
We got the chart in here somewhere. Get the sentiment composite.
I can draw it for you. You're going to tell me that sentiment is a headwind?
No, it's nothing. I don't think about it.
Right, it's nothing. I agree. I'm agreeing it's nothing. Right, that's my point. But it was a headwind a month ago, or a potential headwind a month ago.
Listen, I'll tell you what matters to me. If we can get the hot corner charts in here, Fonz, all of them, especially the dollar and US 10-year charts, what is exciting me about this market is less so the stuff you're talking about, the price action. I continue to worry about large cap tech and mega cap growth and the AI trade. The relative trends don't look great there. I think small caps still need to get it together. The banks don't look great. There are things that definitely need to improve in terms of the price action that we're seeing in the equities market. However, when you look at the intermarket landscape, that is starting to really shift in favor of the bulls. We've had
Tell me more.
Dollar go sideways for 2 years now. We've had interest rates more or less in a holding pattern sideways also for just about the same amount of time. And they both are starting to look like they're really going to roll over here. 4%, such a big level. Show the zoomed in one. Last time I talked about these charts on here, we were drawing these little trend lines like, it's a trend line, but it's a start. Now we're back at the lower bounds of these ranges. US 10s really look like they're ready to make new year-to-date lows. They did a few weeks back. And then if you look at the dollar, throw up the dollar range, we take out the lower bounds here in the Dixie. That's the tailwind I care about. Forget sentiment, right? It's lower dollars, lower interest rates, probably a really good thing for risk assets, at least if those downtrends are orderly, which I think they will be. And it also makes sense, this price action, in light of the fact that we have a Fed that continues to insist that they're about to cut in, 3 or 4 weeks here at the September meeting. So we'll get
Tell me more about this insisting. Like, are they like making speeches saying that they're going to cut rates, or is this like this?
Oh my God. Are they doing the rounds today? You sure you want to know more? You sure you want to know more?
I'm afraid to ask, but sure, go give it to me. Let's get it out of the way.
Bostic on CNBC as we speak. We can't wait until inflation is back down to 2% to alter policy rate. We want calm, orderly return to normalization. We're close to being ready to cut rates. We're going to have to think hard about what's happening in labor markets. Bostic's on at 8 on CNBC. He's on at 9 on Bloomberg. Powell comes on at 10, Jackson's Hole. Harker comes on Bloomberg at 11. Goolsby's on CNBC at 12:30. Goolsby is on Fox Business at 1:45. And Goolsby is on Bloomberg at 2:15. The Fed is out today.
And you know what's funny is that, these, I don't know who this Goolsby lady is, but
he's new. He's the new guy.
Oh, it's a gentleman. When you do these networks, like they ask you, they're like, are you going to be on any other networks today? Like they've always like made it a point. Like if you're on CNBC, they're like, you can't do Fox and Bloomberg for like a week or like not the same day, like it's like a thing. Unless so it's funny that that's always been a thing, but it's funny that in this case, they're like Bloomberg, Fox, like, whatever, we'll get you on. We'll whore ourselves out. Don't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, look, if you're a Fed governor, you play by different rules.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
VP Handler, yeah. I mean, do it, man. Fade away. Fade.
If you ain't fading, you ain't trading.
If that's your sentiment, good luck.
It's hilarious. Yeah, good luck. Yeah. It's like when people try to come up against me. Yeah, all right, we'll see what happens. Let's see how is that usually ended for people when they come out.
Good.
It doesn't end well. So Strazza's like, yeah, fade me, bro, all day. Go ahead, knock yourself out. Strazza, speaking of it being stupid to fade you, 2 doubles yesterday.
2 doubles. Yeah.
2 doubles. Not bad.
We just keep getting lucky out here, JC.
It's all luck. That's what it is. It's only luck, right? There's no skill at all. It's just, Strazza is flipping coins, and these things just keep doubling left and right. I mean, right? Is that what it is?
I'm happy about it because it hasn't been the best market for it, but the win rate's been really high.
Yeah, it's not like this is like a raging bull market. I mean, it is, but like it's not like this particular the last month has been like, oh, buy anything and anything works. Like, you've been picking your spots in the breakout multiplier and it has been working and the feedback has been off the chart. Short Strazza coin. Yes, if there was a Strazza coin, I would agree with that. You short that. Strazza would be short that too. Probably.
Yeah, I would short the hell out of my coin. So if Louis comes on right now, I know he's interested in talking about maybe some of these Bitcoin miners. You think these things are ready to go or what?
One chart before we bring in the Lou dog. Is Louis ready, Spencer? I got one chart I wanted to talk about. No?
Yeah, we got Louis and we got Kenny. We got a traffic jam.
Throw up the NVIDIA chart. Love this. This is a big deal. This is a very big deal. And if you want to drop the link for where we'll be next Wednesday. So earnings next Wednesday, guys. This is going to be August the 28th. There's going to be a lot of shenanigans there in the after hours, and we're going to be right in there talking about it. We're bringing in some special guests. Myself, Steve Strazza, Sean McLaughlin. I don't want to, no spoiler alerts, but we got some special guests coming in. Spencer, if you will, drop the link for people to save that link. We'll be there at 3:45 next Wednesday. But let me just talk about NVIDIA and why it is that it's so important and why we're going to be live streaming next week for the earnings. More so, it's more the reaction to the earnings and the market behavior more so than the earnings itself. That's what I'm interested in. And yeah, whatever, like people are like, oh, NVIDIA, it's still cheap at 28 times multiple or whatever it is. I'm not going to pretend to know because I really don't give a damn at all. What I'm interested in is in the last 2 years, NVIDIA has 10x'd its market cap. Did you realize it was that much that quickly, Strazza?
Yes.
You knew that 10x market cap in 2 years? I didn't quite realize that's what it was.
Yeah.
All right, I have more superlatives. Ready? NVIDIA alone, the value of NVIDIA alone is more than every country's stock market in the world except for 4 countries.
Sick.
What are those 4 countries? Go. Which 4 countries are bigger than NVIDIA? Go.
Japan, United States, Germany, France.
Nope.
Not what I would have said.
Well, the United States, thanks, because NVIDIA trades in the U.S. So yes, by definition. So outside of the United States, only 4 countries. France and Germany, both smaller than NVIDIA.
Really?
Yes.
Can I go?
Yes, go.
Japan, China, India. I don't have a 4th.
Japan, China, India, and
I don't know. Great Britain.
Great Britain.
Really? They're
UK.
bigger than
China, UK, India, Japan. Yep. Germany smaller, France smaller. NVIDIA alone is like bigger than like Australia and Denmark combined. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. I was just doing just a little bit of homework. And I was like, wow, what a freaking beast. So, man, this thing was at 80 billion. By the way, when we were covering this, fun fact, NVIDIA actually came from the Young Aristocrats report years ago. So in other words, the Young Aristocrats are the stocks that are raising their dividends every year for at least 5 consecutive years, right? And NVIDIA came from the Young Aristocrats. Fun fact, they no longer, they're not on that list anymore because they stopped raising their dividends a couple of years ago, right, Strazza? Because I think they realized that they could do much better with that money instead of giving it to the idiot shareholders. Is that right?
That's exactly what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Uncle Warren style.
Yep.
Yeah. They're like, we could do way better than this money than giving it to you, knuckleheads. Right.
And they did.
And they did. And they did. 10x in 2 years. Yeah. Most of these knuckleheads couldn't do that, you know? So good job, Jared Wang. Right.
Jensen.
Him too. I had these guys crying on the show.
You're terrible.
Right.
NVIDIA's market cap is 20 times the size of New Zealand.
Speaking of New Zealand, let's bring on our chief New Zealand correspondent.
Hit it.
Got my fingers on the pulse, avocado and toast, leather seats, jet plane, always ready to go.
Morning, guys. How's it going?
Come on, man.
It's lovely to be talking to you guys.
So NVIDIA's 20x the New Zealand GDP.
The New Zealand GDP in US dollars is about 150 billion. So I think most stocks are actually bigger than our entire country.
You know, what's fascinating is that there are 5 million people in New Zealand. There are like 5 million people in Soho, first of all. So
That's
the fact that there are 5 million people in New Zealand. There are 23 million sheep in New Zealand. So that would be 4x the population of humans.
That's quite a large ratio of sheep to humans.
Yeah, the 4-to-1 sheep to human ratio is off the charts.
You know, last time I was on the show, I was really convincing Strazza that we need to have an all-star charts field trip to New Zealand. I've been here on the team for so long, and I feel like it's got to happen.
Not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea.
I pushed for a little detour to Australia and New Zealand when we were in Asia last year. I'm the one who pushed for that. I got shut down, but I tried, and I'll try again.
Louis, what are you doing with all those sheep? You making quilts or something? Not you specifically, but like Kiwis.
We export everything that we have to China. Everything goes to China, and so that's why we look at New Zealand milk futures, right? Like it's a joke between us internally, but there's actually information there because a lot of our New Zealand exports they go to China, and then obviously China's a big player, and so you can gauge the health of the Chinese market by looking at some of the New Zealand commodity prices.
I agree. I mean, if you're not waking up every morning, look at the New Zealand milk futures contracts. I
Exactly.
mean,
That's like
do
my
you even
go.
take your portfolio seriously?
My go-to morning routine is I like to read, I like to do some meditation, go for a morning walk, and then check the New Zealand milk futures price. Like that's the go-to morning routine for me.
Louis was like a year or two ago. Louis was trying to put on weight, and he was drinking a gallon of milk a day. Are you still doing that? That was pretty dumb.
I put on weight. Most of it was not muscle, believe it or not. So I kind of stopped with that.
Louis, we're talking about Nvidia and what a massive market cap it is, 3 trillion. You know, when you look at, you know, Bitcoin is Crypto Friday. Shout out Crypto Fridays.
Shout out.
Bitcoin is 1/3 the size of Nvidia, which is wow. Does that speak more to the sheer monstrous size of the Nvidia's market cap, or does that speak to the opportunity that's there in Bitcoin?
Well, we know that the crypto market cap or the crypto asset class is tiny, right? You know, it's a $2 trillion asset class, and that's absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. So you can either look at that in two ways. You can either say, well, it's nothing, it's irrelevant, and it could go to zero and it doesn't matter. Like, yes, those are all true. But then alternatively, because it's so small, it's really there's the opportunity for those outsized returns that you're going to get, you know, into the future. You know, it's how big is the gold market? Like 10 trillion, 15 trillion,
16.
and the crypto market cap is 2 trillion. You know, that's and when you want to compare it, I think those are some really valid numbers. And so it
You
depends how
think
you want to look
that's
at that.
comparable? You think it's fair to take the market cap of gold and compare it to the market cap of cryptocurrencies? You don't think that's stretching a bit?
What else do we have to compare it to?
No, I mean, I compare it. I'm asking. I'm just playing devil's advocate. Like, you know, well, JC, what does gold have to do with Bitcoin? You know, I get all this shit all the time. So I question it myself, and I think it's a valid comparison. I like to compare. I mean, here we are comparing the number of sheep to the humans in New Zealand. We are comparing the total market cap of the United Kingdom stock market to the market cap of Nvidia to Bitcoin. Like, I compare these things. Like, as humans, this is what we do. Everything's on a relative basis. So
Yeah,
that's
and then it's
I
whether
think
we're
it's
going to
valid.
be making like active investment decisions based on these numbers. Like, probably not, right? You know, it's more just like a fun exercise.
Here's a question. Here's a not an exercise that's just for fun, but I think a legit exercise. The ratio of gold to Bitcoin currently is approximately 16-1, right? You got
Mhm.
$16 trillion gold, 16 and change at this point, about $1 trillion and change Bitcoin market cap. Is the bet that we want to make as investors, is the bet that we want to make as humans on Earth, that spread is going to narrow, or that spread is going to widen? In other words, is gold going to be worth more than 16x Bitcoin, and gold's going to be worth 20x Bitcoin, 30x Bitcoin? Is that the bet that we want to make, or do we want to make the bet that spread narrows and it might be 4-1, 3-1, 10 to
I mean, we all know that Bitcoin has been historically outperforming gold. It's a higher beta asset, and so the trend is higher. The longer term trend is higher. So you'd have to assume that Bitcoin is likely going to be outperforming into the next, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Not to say that gold isn't necessarily a bad place to be having money. It's clearly trending higher as well. In fact, I'm just writing a note to our crypto members, just talking about our emerging crypto scan, where we're scanning for cryptocurrencies hitting certain market cap thresholds for the first time. And one of those cryptos was actually a gold crypto. It's backed by gold, similar to I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Pax Gold, but it's another one of those. And so there's clearly a lot of interest by investors wanting to get exposure to gold in the crypto market. So that's one thing, that's gold, but it's Crypto Friday. So there's something that's really important that needs to be talked about in crypto markets that I've just been pounding the table on, and that is the absolute obliteration of the futures market in crypto. You know, the Ethereum open interest has literally got slashed in, by 33%, by a third. So just look at this. So what we're looking at here is we're looking at Ethereum. That is the black line. Then the indicator below is the weekly return, or the weekly rate of change of open interest. Now, open interest is just the amount of open positions in the futures market. And so whenever it dips into that red zone, that means that a third of all futures positioning has essentially got wiped out in the space of a week. Now that happens, most of the time that happens forcefully. So traders are literally getting margin called by their exchanges, and those are really good buying opportunities. You can just see how well those red areas, those red periods line up with previous long squeezes where a lot of longs, a lot of bulls have got forced out of their positions. There's been a complete reset in positioning and sentiment, and then the market can begin working higher again. And so you saw that, in COVID, in the 2021 correction, when FTX blew up in 2022, and now you're seeing that. You saw that a few weeks ago, and so that sets us up for a really nice place to build a rally off. And so, where do we go from here? Spencer, I want you to bring up the chart of the Bitcoin liquidations. That's a really important one. So here we're looking at a more granular view. So here we're looking at a chart of Bitcoin. That's the black line. Then that red squiggly line at the bottom is the amount of long liquidations. Those are essentially margin calls by exchanges, because the beauty of crypto, right, is that all of this data is so transparent. And so you can see whenever a trade is getting liquidated, you can see what they're doing on chain. And so what we're looking at here is when you get these massive spikes in that red line, that means that a lot of traders are getting margin called. Those are happening at extremes of consolidations, of corrections. And so what you generally tend to see is you get this sideways range that gets formed for a few months. I've only just shown 2 cases here, but if you go back and have a look at the data, which we have, the general tendency is that you get a massive puke, a spike in liquidations. The market consolidates and moves sideways for a month, 2 months, 3 months. And then the next upward break is really high conviction. And so for me, in the short term, it's probably, you probably want to just play a little bit more patiently, allow the market to shape up a little bit better. And then, the next break is probably quite high conviction. That's generally my base case. And a lot of that is based on what's happening in the futures market. It's been obliterated, and that's a really good signal.
Obliteration is a good signal. Got it.
It is. And so, like JC always says, contrary to popular belief,
I'm retaining it.
Kicking someone when they're down is the best time to do so. Whenever you get all these people losing money because they're fucking reckless with their risk management, that is the perfect time to, look to take the other side of their fear.
I love Louis dropping JC-isms there. Best time to kick somebody is when they're down. I mean, that's just science, right? It's just math, right? It's not my fault. But that's especially true in the market.
You guys sound disgusting when you say that out loud.
But it's the truth, and I don't care. In the market, that's the time to kick someone when they're down, when they're vulnerable. That's just what it is. And by the way, if you're one of these vulnerable people that are right on the brink of collapse, these institutions are going to come in there and they're going to knock you down. So you're either kicking people when they're down, or you're the one getting kicked because you're down. It's up to you. Louis, can we talk about the altcoin index there, please?
Sure thing.
Let's
talk about some price action.
This is a pattern that we see a lot out there, like a lot.
Look at how clean that retest is. It's just a clean downward channel into that breakout level. It just doesn't really get more textbook than that. We're looking at one particular altcoin index. I think this is Strazza's altcoin index. I tend to look at the CCI 30, which captures about 83% of the market cap of crypto, and it's a bit more of a rules-based index. And again, it's basically showing the exact same picture as this, where we've had this.
Hold on, go back that up a second. The CCI 30 represents 30% of the crypto.
83%.
83% because it includes Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's the top 30 market cap.
If it X'd out Bitcoin, now you're like at 25, 27%, something like that.
Yeah. Look, it's just as clean as you get it. You've got that nice base breakout, you get the retest, you don't need to overcomplicate it any more than that.
And these are 10.
I think so. That this isn't my index, so I'm not sure, but you've got
all the usual suspects. You got the Doge and the Shiba, right? So those are the blue chip meme tokens, and then you got the ETH, the Sol. You got your Binance and Ripple, so you got your fraud covered. You got your overrated like Notre Dame sort of situation here in the Cardano, right? So you got like all your bases covered, am I right?
Exactly, And again, coming back to what I was saying before, how you got that obliteration in the futures market, you've also got that absolute obliteration in the altcoin market. Less so in the futures market and more just with the sheer drawdown of these things. They're testing, a lot of these altcoins are testing their bull market cycle lows. And so I just want you guys to just stop and think about that for 1 second. We're in a bull market, and these altcoins are testing their bull market cycle lows. That's a really big disconnect from what you would just normally think about where these coins would be trading. And
Yeah,
so
and
I
if you're
think
only
there's a little
looking
bit
at
of
Bitcoin and
dislocation.
ETH and some of these others, you would have noticed that.
Exactly. Yep. And so I think there's a really big opportunity there.
All right,
I really
gotta
like
let
this is a
Louis run,
great
right?
chart. This is a Strazza chart.
I think so.
Are
I
we
don't
allowed
know.
to give Strazza
Shout out
credit?
Strazza.
We've given him too much credit already this show, I feel like. Should we give him more credit?
We gotta let Louis run.
All right, Lou Dog, thank you for coming. Say hi to the
Yes,
sheep
guys.
for me.
All right.
Go drink some milk.
Let's
What's
bring on Kenny Glick real fast. Kenny, you here? I think he's here.
What's a sheep shagger?
Oh, I don't
Come
know.
on.
Oh, it's a shag. It's a shaggin' wagon, baby.
Come on. All right, Kenny, real fast.
It's been a long time coming. They ain't come for my club, they tugging. Putting up numbers, 99 pounds, and I still kept it 100. Hola. Yeah.
Ooh, Kenny Glick in the house.
What up?
Don't be a dick. Vote Glick.
That's right. We're shaking, kids.
Listen, you had a down day in the NASDAQ yesterday. It
Was it?
happens. And we are back. NASDAQ 100 futures up a full percent, almost 200 points on the NASDAQ futures this morning. Talk to me, Kenny.
Yesterday, I want to go and say top 20 days of trading. As I was dizzy, I think I might have had some sort of 24-hour bug, but I crawled out of my box, and it was fantastic. I'll give you one. I just want to show you guys when I come on the air every morning, and we're talking about different names. A lot of the stocks are these weird biotech stocks, but let's talk about Advanced Auto Parts. Right? Here's a stock.
Oh yeah.
I have never traded the stock in my life.
What a day.
Commercials. Guys, you got my screen up?
Oh, my bad. Yes, we do.
Okay. Do you or do you? Yeah. Okay. So listen. So this is it. I mean, this is the trade I talk about, the one we were singing songs about earlier in the week. I focus on earnings reports because that's where the action is. Volume, weighted average price action. You want more volume, more better. So here's a stock that gets absolutely destroyed. Okay. And then you're watching it as it's getting destroyed. There's your whole number hold, and there's your VWAP for the day. The orange line is prior day VWAP. So what I have found over the last 13 years of doing this trade, that when you have a oversold condition on an earnings report, if it breaks back over the VWAP, more often than not, it travels back to prior day VWAP. So you're getting the watch list because it's an earnings report. You're getting the idea because you're looking for the reversion trade, and you know exactly where it's going to go. So instead of speculating, just react. So that's what's great about this trade. You're not really speculating. You're just reacting. You're reacting to when it starts to take place. So under the VWAP, and again, the traders that are brave enough to take the open, sometimes you get paid right away. I like to see some chop around the VWAP. We call it the VWAP shuffle or the VWAP jiggle.
Ooh, the VWAP shuffle. I like that.
Thank you. We invented that term as well. So once the jiggling and shuffling gets done and you're back above the VWAP and you're breaking the 930 high, buy it, because that's when you can identify your risk. So if you're buying this break of that top range, the VWAP's one of your stops and the prior candle is your prior is a second stop. I always have two stops on, and your goal is the orange line. Look how it went right there and hit it to the penny, hangs out, suckers some extra people to get in a little bit late and reverts back. But this, my friends, was the day's pay. Your entry was about 50, I think it was 50.75, and you got paid up to about 53.75. This trade shows up every day as long as there's stocks in the news. And there's always stocks in the news. I go where the action is, and this was a perfect play. And you just sit back and wait to get paid. But now I come in, I'm always hearing, I heard about the 2x, 3x, 5x. I came into the conversation late. I know you're talking about Bitcoin, Nvidia, market cap. How about a worthless car company that does a reverse stock split, catches the shorts off guard? We're talking about FFIE. I know they have a car because I saw a documentary, but the stock is awful. And then it just wakes up. So when these stocks wake up, the volume explosion creates more opportunity. So over the last couple of days, here's just, I just want to just show you, this is on a 2-day chart. So when you have this stock, look at this beautiful setup right here. So the stock's just hanging out at VWAP, and then it tests the prior day VWAP. And in this case, it holds the prior day VWAP, giving you that support. And now you're back above the VWAP. Stocks don't like to stay down when they break above the prior day. And next thing you know, you've got yourself a $3 stock with 20 cents of risk that goes to $8. How you doing, worthless car company? I love it. FFIE. Don't know much about it, but
yeah, I mean, this is $100 million like electric vehicle company out of Cali.
Okay, fantastic. So follow this. Check this out right now into today. So you wake up, you're like, hey, remember that stock from yesterday? All right, let's check it out. It's underneath the VWAP. We got the VWAP shuffle. And once the shuffling is over and you break above the shuffle range, you get in because risk is defined.
You know, listen, Kenny, I really like this concept of the VWAP shuffle a lot. Like, you know, you kind of get that whipsaw, that little dance that it does on the VWAP. I really like that concept a lot, Kenny.
Yeah, well, you know what it is? When I first learned how to trade, circa 1997, one of the first words that was brought to me was jiggling. My mentor, Isaac, and another guy named Joe, they were like, the market wants to jiggle around, convince you that you're wrong about what side you're on, and then leave without you. So it's kind of like the same thing. It's jiggling and shuffling. But if it's jiggling and shuffling around the VWAP, it's really just gathering itself for usually the next move higher. And again, if it doesn't move higher, you're a seller. And if it moves higher, you're a buyer.
Not for nothing. Not for nothing. These cars look kind of nice.
Except they're not real yet.
Right. Oh my God. This company has the greatest stuff ever. Just like just like Nicola had a great thing.
Yeah.
Like Canoe had a great thing. Yeah. You know what I saw yesterday? This is crazy. I saw a Lucid. I've never seen one. Gorgeous. So I checked the stock out, and next thing you know, the stock was ripping. LC.
I don't know if I've seen one either.
Yeah, this was another one. This was a beautiful car. I've never seen one.
What's the ticker symbol?
LCID.
LCID.
Yeah. So weird coincidence. I saw one drive by for the first time ever, and the stock was rocking yesterday.
Oh yeah, I know this one. I didn't realize. I thought they were like a software stock.
Yeah. There's so many of these little dudes that we completely forgot about. There was.
This was a SPAC daddy. This is a 2021 SPAC.
These were all SPAC daddies. Faraday was a SPAC daddy. Canoe. All of them.
I love a good SPAC daddy. Kenny Glick bringing the heat this morning. I really like that VWAP shuffle. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Thank you. And it's a lot. And again, once you learn the shuffle, and again, the shuffling gives you the risk reward. It really just sets the trade up for you. And again, it's not about being right or wrong. You want to be right, but when you're wrong and you're just selling below the shuffle, it's limited risk. So if you can have limited risk on every trade, you're going to be all right as long as you don't ignore that risk management.
Yeah, and embrace the shuffle rather than being afraid of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've always kind of been afraid of the shuffle, but now I'm going to go in there. I'm going to be less scared.
All right.
I get it because it's a feature, not a bug.
Yeah. Oh, it's part of trading. It absolutely is part of trading.
I like that. See, this is why we do this. I love it, Kenny. Well done. Well done, my friend.
Nice. Kenny Glick, the link to his room, you know, it's in the chat, but I'll pin it. How about that? I'll pin it to the top of the chat. There it is. It's pinned right there. Hit thebid.com. That's where you get these trades. See you, Kenny.
All right, brothers. See ya.
I gotta say, I really like the whole concept of the VWAP shuffle, like above, below, kind of like dancing, and then it's a go.
Yeah.
One more thing I wanted to mention. Throw up slide 1 just to show just the spread between AutoZone and Advanced Auto Parts. As somebody who has never stepped foot in either one of these stores, nor will I ever, because I don't trust myself touching my car, because I'll screw it up, and then I don't trust myself doing anything with cars. So like, I'm never going to go into any of these stores. I don't, I'm sure people do. I just find it fascinating that one line go up, one line go down. No?
I always find this interesting as well. So Advanced Auto Parts actually sold a part of their business, which usually is a good thing because it means you're getting money in the door. But the market said that the bad earnings and the bad guidance was more important than them selling their part of their business. So anyway, let's bring on today's guest. How about that? Dr. Phil.
Ooh, nice.
All right.
Jay, we've been friends for a long time. Make the call.
I mean, this is pretty professional, guys.
Nice show you got going here.
Hey, Dr. Phil Pearlman. Happy Friday.
Fellas, good morning. Dude, I was over here, that intro music, I was doing the VWAP shuffle. Had a little VWAP shuffle going on, man. I love that.
Like
Dude,
that
Kenny
concept of
Glick,
the
bro.
VWAP shuffle.
Dude, love Kenny Glick, man.
Why you dressed so nice? You going to a funeral or something? What are you doing?
I'm just a styly guy, man. I'm just very styling. I'm stylish.
Yeah, you are.
So, you know.
I like how many buttons you have open. Get that chest hair out. I like that.
All right.
What's going on, fellas?
Ladies, you're driving the ladies wild, bro.
Wild.
How many pull-ups are you doing?
What's that?
How many pull-ups are you doing these days?
I had a little shoulder thing, so I'm down, but I'm back. I'm over 10, but I'm not like up near 20 anymore. I'm like 12, 13 probably on a good day. But I had a little shoulder thing, so I had to like go a little easy on it. I backed off, and I've been doing like more kind of like stretching and strength building things.
Look good, Phil. You look good.
But I feel great though, dude. I got out early this morning. Get out. Listen, if I have anything to tell you, is go out and get outside in the morning, move your body. It doesn't matter what you do. You don't have to run a marathon. You could go for a long walk with your dog. You go for a little jog. Just feeling better, you're going to be a better market participant. Just feeling better, you're going to be a better market participant. I guarantee that. And you're going to be better at life. You're going to enjoy life more. You're going to live longer and happier, and you're going to get better at the market.
So hold on, because I loved something from your Twitter yesterday. I sent it to some friends.
Oh, I have a Twitter?
Yep, you do. There is a direct relationship between behavior and emotion. Change what you do, and it affects how you feel. If you feel sluggish, make an AM walk a regular thing, and you will gain energy and improve mood. So behavior drives mood. Is that right?
Well, it's more complicated than that, but there is a relationship. There's an interrelationship between the way we feel, the things that we think, the things that we do. And it's like a triangle. And so if you change one, remember back from Geometry 101, if you change one angle of the triangle, the other two angles change. If you change one side of the triangle, the other two sides change. And so that's a little bit complicated. So I simplify it. And I know for a fact that if you change your behavior, how you feel will change, especially if you go from inactive to active. And especially if you go from being indoors in the morning to being outdoors in the morning. You know, every morning, we have a lot to learn from dogs. And so every morning my dog wakes up and it's like, come and get me. Let's go run around. And she is ready to go in the morning. All she wants to do is get outside and run around and go crazy. And she's just tuned to her natural instinct. We have that same natural instinct. All we want to do is get up in the morning, get moving, get outside. But because we have such complicated lives and we're so busy, we cover over a lot of that shit. We cover over a lot with this garbage of like, well, I got to get to work. I got to get to the kids to school. I got to do this and I got to do that. I got to pay my taxes or whatever. And we're so busy that we get far from our nature. Our nature is wake up, get yourself outside, get sunlight on your face, feel fantastic, move your body, get blood flowing. You start doing that and it affects directly. It changes an angle in the triangle. And so what happens, it changes the behavior angle. And so what happens is your how you feel angle will also change.
You want to talk
huge. It's a huge unlock, and it's stupid and simple. And everybody's over here talking about all these complicated things.
Yeah.
And, everybody's talking about mitochondria and VO2 max and all of these ridiculous concepts that we don't even understand. And meanwhile, just get up and fucking take a walk. You know what I mean?
A lot of times, to be fair, for a lot of people, getting healthy does sound too complicated, or it just sounds like a lot of work and it can seem overwhelming. You're talking about how many people have busy lives and other stuff going on. And they might think, what's a walk going to do for me in the morning? I'm not going to be able to eat healthy or go to the gym or follow it up with anything else. But there's kind of a domino effect there where you just do one healthy thing, right? Just start doing one healthy behavior. And that kind of drives you to be more likely to add on more healthy behaviors in the future. Like maybe if you went for a walk in the morning, you'll think twice about eating a giant bowl of pasta for dinner. You don't want to undo those gains.
All the healthy things are gateway drugs for all the others. You're exactly correct. Agree. Listen, I wanted to talk about something today, and I have a good segue into it and a lead in. You guys were talking before about kicking people when they're down.
Oh, God.
And I'm a humanist. I love people, but I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, if you're trading, you're just playing poker, right? And if you're playing poker and there's somebody that's sitting across from you that is on tilt, that is giving away, giving away what they have all the tells in the world. They're on tilt. They're betting poorly. They're playing loose. They're playing poorly because they're losing. You should absolutely take that person's money. That is just the game you're playing. It's nothing personal. You don't hate that person. You don't dislike them. They could be your best friend in the world. It's just the game you're playing. And so if you're in the market and you're seeing that the VIX is elevated and that there are people doing poorly decision things, they're making bad decisions and then they're acting on them, then there's zero reason. It's nothing personal. There's zero reason why you shouldn't be taking advantage of that.
Bro, but it's the same thing. I didn't have that 95-mile-an-hour fastball. I never had it. In my head, sometimes I thought I had it, and then 400 feet to center field later, I would be reminded that I didn't have that pitch. So I had to outthink the hitters. So if I would see a big lefty coming in, ready to just destroy the ball, I would throw him 4 changeups away, right? Because I know he's vulnerable there. Right, I'm gonna catch him, and he's gonna reach out, trying to pull the ball to right field with his big lefty swing, and he's gonna ground out to shortstop because he's gonna be reaching right. So I'm like taking advantage of his weaknesses. Right, it has nothing to do with the guy. Right.
I saw this clip the other day of Greg Maddux pitching. I don't know if I have to share this with you guys. So he's pitching, and he's like, there's some great hitter up. And
Jeff
he told
Bagwell.
the cat, what's that?
Jeff Bagwell.
You saw this clip, right?
The algorithm's giving me a lot of Greg Maddux stuff these days.
Dude, that was like level 10,000 what he did.
So they were up 8 runs, like 8-0, like in the eighth inning. The game's done. And Maddux, kept telling the catcher, we're not going to go in on Bagwell. We're not going to go in on Bagwell. Keep it away, keep it away, keep it away. But they were up 8-0. And they were a couple of months away from the playoffs. And Maddux is like, we got a good team. They have a good team. And we're going to face them in the playoffs. So you know what? He went inside. He gave Bagwell just a layup. And he hit a single shot that didn't matter at the end of a game that was already over. And it was in
made
his
it
head.
8-2. It was 8-2. Who cares? 8-2. They're still winning 8-2.
And then 3 months later, it's like 7th inning, bases loaded, 2 outs, Bagwell's up to bat.
In the playoffs.
And, the game's on the line, and he strikes him out with 3 changeups away because Bagwell's waiting for that inside pitch that he hit a home run off of 3 months earlier.
Dude, level 10,000, bro.
So good, Pearlman.
It's so good. So anyway, though, getting back to this thing, because there's a point here. So I could trace this back to, I don't know when this started, but I could trace it back to 9/11 if we really wanted to. There were a lot of things going on in the market back then. It was the internet bubble was deflating and all that. A lot going on. But also it was a traumatic event for the country. And when we have a traumatic event, emotional volatility increases. We become more emotional, right? We become more affected by small things in our environment and so forth. And so, you know, and I'm talking about kicking a man when he's down, but I'm making a larger point about what's going on in the market and the event that we saw a week and a half ago that occurred that we should all be looking out for all the time, because it gives us a chance to kick other people when they're down, to make money on trades, to buy from somebody who's in pain, no hard feelings, or to sell to somebody who's in pain, no hard feelings. But anyway, since then, we've had multiple events where people where capitulation happens very quickly, right? Where we have these events like we had a week and a half ago, whenever it was, where we had a capitulation event. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong here, but we had like a VIX 60 that happened like that. It was a hair trigger. Nothing that horrible was happening in the world that really demanded a VIX 60 and people just unloading and this cascade lower. It was just selling begetting selling, and everybody having such a hair trigger and being so emotionally volatile. So the fancy word in psychology would be a labile, right? And it just means that you're like, you ever see a baby go from like laughing to crying in like 5 seconds? That you've seen it. You got two little kids, right? They're laughing and then they're crying because they didn't get their baba or whatever. That's called lability. And it's natural in a 7-month-old or 1-year-old kid, but it's not natural in adults. So when you see that type of lability or emotional volatility, and really what it is it's in the market, it's the volatility of volatility. And so I'm just saying, we had one of those events 2 weeks ago. It happens from time to time. They are unnatural and they are great. My opportunity there is that I'm a long-term investor. I buy low-cost ETFs. I gather money every year, and I have times where I want to buy ETFs and hold them. And for me, it was perfect. As a matter of fact, I was a day early, but it didn't matter. You know, I did some buying on that Friday, and then that Monday we whooshed. But we were getting killed already, and the VIX was already super elevated. I was a little bit early, but it was fine. But it was just like, I'm going to buy when the market's getting killed. That's my strategy. And I see it so clearly. And I'm just saying to you out there, if you're trading, you want to be aware. If you're a more active trader or you're, position trader, whatever, you want to be more aware of that type of phenomena that's going to happen from time to time. It doesn't happen that often, but when it does happen, it creates an incredible opportunity. And if you're on the other side, it creates incredible risk.
And Pearls, what you're doing is you're kicking people when they're down. They're getting and I love that you agree with me, because Strazza rolls his eyes when I say that, but I love that you agree with me. You're kicking people when they're down. People are getting blown out. People are vulnerable. They're forced selling. These are forced liquidation, in the same way that at the end of the summer, you got people dumping their houses because they can't afford to live it anymore, and you could steal a beach house at 20-30% discount because people are desperate. You're taking advantage. It's the same exact situation, is it not?
It's especially true in vacation. Vacation areas tend to be more volatile, and there tends to be more risk there. And when there's credit market volatility, and yes, there's huge opportunities in every market when people are in fear, when people are panicking, when people are worried. I just want to give a quick shout out to Ravi Gupta. That guy is just a great guy. He's always got something awesome to say. He said something, he had a question here. My girlfriend makes only emotional decisions with money. Give me advice. All you can do is not do it yourself. Be like, a light in the fog, and model rational behavior. And don't get caught up in her mishigas. Don't get caught up in her madness. If she blows a little money, she's going to. Don't blow your money. Let it happen.
Don't let her blow your money.
What's that?
Don't let her blow your money.
Don't let her blow your money. And over time, what will happen is she will be a witness to your wisdom over time in these repeated situations when she's emotional, and she will come to trust you more and more, and you'll be the role model for her, and she will either let you make the decisions or she'll improve her behavior. And by the way, if she doesn't, then you have a bigger problem, you know.
I think that's great advice. And the alternative is like, what do you think? You're going to force her to change her behavior? What else are you going to do?
Exactly.
You know, this is
Strazza knows
not
women.
about relationship advice, but the volatility in some of these spouses can be, you know, and some of the emotions, you know, depending, you know, there's real science in there. Right?
They deal with August 5th VIX-like spikes all the time.
Women have their wisdom too. Yes, they they have VIX. They're subject to VIX spikes. Women have their wisdom. Men have their wisdom. The truth, and they're in different areas, and the truth is somewhere in between. And over time, I think you either get that or you don't. And if you don't get it by the time you're my age, you're probably lonely. What's that?
And weaknesses too. Men have their weaknesses and or our weaknesses, and women have their weaknesses too, right? So there are strengths and weaknesses on both sides. I think the most important part is to be aware of them so that, you know, you become less vulnerable, or you try to maximize some of those strengths, right?
That's exactly correct.
Bill.
Yes, Daniel Weiser. Pearlman program is great for your lady. Low cost ETF buying when there's blood in the streets. It's like better than buying her necklace or diamond.
Pearlman program in the market. I like it. I like the Pearlman program in the market. My favorite Pearlman program in the market is when the S&P is down 8% for the month. You double whatever you put every month.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? My money was put away for it was sitting in cash for October because I figured, okay, you know, I got the best chance. I'm going to buy a bunch in October, like in addition to dollar cost averaging. And then this just happened, and it was like, okay, you know, I'm going to take some of that October money that I was going to allocate, and I'm just going to put it in now because we're getting that opportunity. It's like, okay.
Pearlman, I got one for you. I'm making you proud here. This is a good one. Ready? I'm making you proud. I really had my heart set on playing tennis today, right? But I can't count on my friends always because they have kids and jobs, and like, you know, I'm not on the priority list. I respect that. They're not on mine either, so it's all good. But I wanted to play tennis, so what I did was I invited 2 of my neighbors to play tennis, hoping at least one of them would say yes. They both said yes. So now we got 3 people playing tennis today, and so we're going to play Canadian doubles.
Yes.
So I had never done this before. So you got 2 on one side, 1 on the other. The double side has to play within the single on the court, and then the single man gets to play with the doubles court. And then you can just keep rotating so that we're always playing. So now you're working on your singles and your doubles game, and 3 people can play tennis at the same time. How great is that? So I just wanted to give you a nod there. I figured you'd like that, Pearl Dog.
Love it. Just anything you do that you're having fun and you're moving your body. It doesn't matter what you do. You don't have to be Lou Ferrigno or Kipchoge, or, you know, you don't have to run marathons.
I'm the Cuban John McEnroe.
You're the Cuban John McEnroe.
You know, be grateful that you at least enjoy your tennis partner's company. I'm lying to my golf buddies today and telling them that I'm not golfing, and then I'm going to hope to not see them while I am golfing because I don't even want to play with them. I know I'm going to be on my phone a ton. One of the guys I play with like makes this big thing out of like if I don't watch his ball. So I'll be like sitting there on my cell phone trading, and he's like, "Oh, you didn't see where I went, did you?" And I'm like, "No, dude, I didn't, because I don't care."
Our boy is developing and advancing very nicely over here, Mr. Strazza. I love this guy, by the way.
I thought of you this morning when I was reading something in the local paper. Can I just read you something from this article? So this is in the health section of my local newspaper this morning. The title of the article is "Feeling Stuffed, Try These Moves." And then there's like yoga moves, and child's pose, all sorts of fun stuff. So we've all been
Child's pose is a good one.
Right, sure. Overindulging in a big meal and feeling like a stuffed turkey. It can be uncomfortable and leave you feeling sluggish, but don't worry. There are exercises that can help you after you feast. So it goes through all these exercises of what to do after you act like a fat ass. Isn't the idea here to just not overeat and stuff yourself to the point where you feel like a stuffed turkey, not to do exercises after stuffing yourself like a turkey? I don't understand.
Here's the thing. There's a million things written about health and wellness every day, every week, every month, every year. And 99.9% of it is just total bullshit. And that's my thing. All you have to do is move your body.
Yeah.
And just don't eat like a fucking pig. And like that is much better advice than, oh, if you go out and eat like a fucking idiot, here's what you do. No, don't. Here's what you do. Look in the mirror and go, I feel like shit because I ate like an idiot.
Yeah.
So don't eat like shit anymore. And then I won't feel terrible. That's it. That's the advice. The advice isn't, oh, here's a yoga move for after I ate like an idiot. There's no yoga move. There's no yoga move for after you eat like an idiot. If you ate like an idiot,
do better,
you drank
right?
too much, you're gonna feel like shit. It's just karma. There's no.
Can we finish this with one more thing that I wanted to bring up before we let Pearlman go? You know, this is a show about the stock market. It's a show about trading. It's a show about investing. It's a show about making money. The reason we bring Phil on for a lot of reasons, but the reason why we bring Phil on this show in particular is because Phil goes out of his way to help other people, including all three of us here, to put us in a better position to make better decisions in life, but specifically in the stock market for purposes of this conversation. Pearlman, can you share with the folks that when you're eating like shit and you're sluggish and you're not exercising, how that affects your brain, how that affects your confidence in the market versus if you've been eating clean, you've been working out? Like, can you bring this back to putting ourselves in a position to make better decisions?
Yes. So this is the crux of everything. I work with traders, I work with entrepreneurs, I work with financial advisors, I work with very successful people. And the simple, stupid answer is this. You get healthy, you perform better. That is a truth that nobody's talking about, and it's a stupid, simple truth that will always be true. You get yourself healthy, you feel better, you have more energy, you have more stress tolerance, you have more stamina, you have more ability to focus, you bounce back better and have more resilience. We know all of these things to be true. Your health span increases, in other words, how long you stay healthy. So we can look at wisdom on, this is just for you, JC. I got a new one for you. We can look at wisdom on multiple time frames, right? So this is multiple time frame analysis of wisdom, right? We have two time frames that we're thinking about. One is the present and one is the future. And if we get ourselves healthy, we begin moving our bodies, we stop eating, we just start eating real foods, we stop drinking so much, we get some sleep at night. So you love the people that you're with. That's all you have to do. What will happen is you will feel better. You'll have more energy, stress tolerance, all those things I discussed. Plus, you'll have more self-confidence, right? If you have kids, you'll have your social perception will be better. If you have a business, other people will perceive you in a more positive way. All of these things will improve. And that will affect, you can't control price behavior, right? S&P 500 is going to do what it's going to do. It's going to go down 1% yesterday. It's going to be up 1% today. Who knows? What you can control is your apparatus, this body, mind, spirit thing that you look in the mirror at every morning. And if you make that thing the best it can be, your performance in all areas of life, including your market participation, will improve significantly. I call it Fitness Alpha. JC likes the name Performance Alpha better. I've been playing with some other models, but I like Fitness Alpha. I call it Fitness Alpha, right? It's increased performance based on your fitness, based on your health.
It's Performance Alpha.
Real.
Performance Alpha. Performance Alpha is a little bit redundant, right? Because performance and alpha are kind of the same thing. But I don't know. I like performance.
Touche.
But I like performance. I like the sound of that better, but I think Fitness Alpha is more accurate. Somebody said something about, you put up a site. Okay, so Billy Cunningham, last thing. I want to start an exercise blog, charge $20 a month, and every day put up the same post. Go take a walk and stop eating like a jerk off. Yes.
Somebody's listening, Pearlman.
Dude, let's do that. Okay, so we're gonna do that. Me and JC are on
$20 for $20 a month. You're gonna get an email every morning. Be like, go out for a walk and stop eating like a jerk off. See you tomorrow.
Yeah. See you tomorrow.
I love it. All right, Pearl Dog. Love you, my man. When you
Thanks a lot, Phil.
Here? Are we playing golf? Strazza wants to play. When are you coming out here? Are we doing a golf thing? You, me, Hirsch.
You got me traveling so much the next 2 months that I just don't know anymore. I don't know when we'll ever play golf.
You know what we should play? I'll tell you when we play. We play at peak foliage at the end of October.
That'd be beautiful.
Not end of October. I'm thinking like mid-October.
Mid-October.
3rd week of October. Okay, done.
That's better for me. You guys locked down.
We're all going to be in San Diego together.
Dude, we're going to be out in Pennsylvania. Yeah, we'll come back from San Diego and we'll do it.
Done.
We'll be out in Pennsylvania in October. It'll be so gorgeous. There'll be a lot of we'll lose a few balls. There'll be leaves on the ground, but I'm going to lose balls anyway. Like
I was going to say, yeah, I'm good.
We should go straight from Stocktoberfest.
No, you're going to. Oh wait, yes, October. Sorry. Okay. Yes.
Right to JC.
All right.
All right, Pearl Dog.
Okay.
Adios, guys. Love you all.
Thanks, Phil. Love you.
Good weekend.
We got some sycamore trees in the club right now, and they're already starting to turn. The sycamore trees, I'm learning all about trees now that I'm not a city kid anymore. Sycamore trees apparently start turning a little earlier. They're more vulnerable. They're kind of like the little bitches of trees.
I love trees.
Can I just say, Steve, I freaking love that you get the local paper delivered to you.
You got to stay.
I love that. I love that.
Tree killer.
You got to pay attention out here. You know, you got to pay attention to what's going on in your backyard. It's important.
You gotta pay attention. You gotta support your local community journalism. National stuff is all going to be the same. It's commoditized, but the hyper local news, support your communities, people.
Local
they need it.
Yeah. I mean, down here, like we're big on supporting the small businesses. It's very important. I've been to the Cuban deli around the corner twice today, and it's only 9:30.
That's not something to brag about.
That's real. The pork belly wasn't ready.
Talk about first world problems. All right. Can we do a hot corner, because your boy Gerald Jones, Gerald Jones.
Gerald's
not
back.
Gerald, just Gerald.
Gerald
Jones, the owner of the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Self-proclaimed America's team, which
that's the one.
Definitely is not. I'm pretty sure most of America hates everything that has to do with the Cowboys and Dallas as a city, for that matter. So, am I right? Can I get a witness? Can I get a thumbs up? Does anybody out there think that Dallas is America's team, or is that just a bunch of bullshit?
I mean, there's a lot of Cowboys fans, my friend. I think that's what people mean when they say that.
I think any Cowboys fans watching this show are probably thinking, "Hey, Gerald, take some of that money, stop buying oil companies, and pay CeeDee Lamb. Let's go."
Spencer's right. Right. These Cowboy fans. I don't know. For the record, I was rooting for the Cowboys on both of those Super Bowls against Buffalo. So shout out to the Cowboys, and also Michael Irvin from the U, Russell Maryland from the U, Kevin Williams from the U, Jimmy Johnson from the U. I mean, we can go on and on. So shout out to the Cowboys, but definitely not America's team. That was 30 years ago. All right.
Should we actually do this? Talk about what he did? All right.
Please.
So hot right now.
Another 35 million. It was another 35 before, so it's 70 million bucks in about a week from Gerald.
I'm having some internet issues. I hope you guys can hear me. You're coming in now. What?
We got you.
We got you.
Okay. Yeah. So another 34 million. Look, he's been buying this thing like hand over fist for a couple months now. So it definitely stands out. AC/DC, another oil and gas play we've seen a lot of insider activity on since the summer.
Great
2.4 million there. And then CNX, which is the one I probably like the most. The chart looks the best. I mean, look at the chart of CNX. This thing's just fantastic. This is oil and gas. I think it's actually mostly natural gas, but that's a monster-based breakout. I don't think we have that chart, but could pull it up on your own. Core Scientific, like I'm literally going to talk about all of them today because I think these are all significant. Core Scientific, this is the Bitcoin miner, CORZ. Not like Rocky Mountain cores, but like Bitcoin mining cores. Big one. That chart looks what?
Here's the CNX on slide 1 there, Spencer, if you want to show everybody. I mean, there's just not any oil and gas stocks that look like this, right? I mean, this is just some whole nother animal.
Great stock. We were talking about this one, trying to craft an options trade on it at the Portfolio Accelerator in Sonoma a few months back because that was like a fresh break out there. But yeah, you're right, JC. This is one that you have to put in the category of it looks different versus its peers in terms of the energy space right now. So I'm bummed out at the Exxon. I'm bummed out with the price action from energy earlier this week. I thought these things were getting ready to go, but I think the big names continue to tell us that they need more time. But I think you can lean into a leader like this. And then we got to talk about the Chimera, KYMR. I keep telling you guys, the biotechs are really standing out day in and day out, literally every day here. Biotechs. Chimera is a big one. This was Baker Bros with just a really slight increase. But anytime Baker Bros comes across our list, like we're literally going to put it on it, just to remind you guys how important the Baker Bros are to us and our hot corner process. It's been carving out a rounding bottom formation for the last 2.5 years. I think it's breaking out of this base right now. This is one of those biotechs that I'm talking about. Forget what's going on in the broader space and at the index level for biotechs. There are some, relative strength leaders that just look fantastic and are super actionable. KYMR is one of them.
What a great ticker symbol, ACDC. Why is that their ticker symbol for a company called Profac Holdings?
I don't, maybe they're fans.
I was going to say, like, you think it's just because they're like, oh shit, nobody has ACDC as a ticker symbol. Let's take that because they love rock and roll. I mean, I don't know.
Could be.
I mean, it's entirely possible. No?
Yeah, I don't know. I just threw the QR code on the screen. The link is in the chat, guys. Get the hot corner. It's free. It's daily. Well, Monday through Friday, not weekends, obviously. It's all the biggest insider trades you need to know. Congress, hedge funds, CEOs, CFOs, sometimes just directors. All important stuff. Get it right there. Link in description. QR code was on the screen.
Can I shamelessly plug another one of the columns that we do at All Star Charts?
Yeah.
I think we really put out a timely post this morning. I wanted to ask Phil, but he was just on a roll. I couldn't stop him. I wanted to ask Phil about the Peloton. Like, is this it for Peloton? Are the lows in? Is this a viable bit? Are people buying this thing? Dude, I was mind blown. They're still selling like $650 million worth of these things. How?
Did you see their new policy where they're going to charge you? Because a lot of people are buying like barely used Pelotons, right? Because everyone's selling the stuff they're not using. So you can buy used Peloton. If you buy used Peloton will charge you like a $98 like activation fee.
Good.
For not buying a new Peloton from them.
That's smart.
They have to shut that down because the secondary market was literally so flooded for these things that they stopped making them. Your business goes away. Like you can't do that. So that's great policy. It probably took them too long to figure that out. But the stock was up 35% yesterday, the best day in history. I have a trivia question for you guys. When is the last time that Peloton beat on both top and bottom line? Look, there was nothing to really rejoice over in terms of like great results, but they did beat on the top and they did beat on the bottom. And the bottom line was quite a large beat.
Those expectations must have been real low.
Well, think about it. Sometimes when sentiment is that sour, just less bad is enough. It's just such a low bar. It doesn't have to be good, just not bad, right? And that's really what happened here. Guys, the last time that Peloton beat on both the top and bottom line was May.
I cheated. I looked.
May of 2021. There have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 earnings reports have gone by without a beat. So that's what I mean when I say low bar. That's the kind of sentiment we like. A 22% short interest is also the kind of sentiment that we like. 6 days to cover. I think they had like their largest volume in history, one of their largest volume days in history yesterday. The shorts are covering. I think they could keep squeezing this thing. I think they could keep squeezing it. Post is on the website. Go check it out.
May of 2021. Also the last time Peloton reported a positive EPS. So maybe there's a trend there, right?
No, this is like Zoom for me. I don't know. I don't think this is a viable business long term. This is not something I would ever want to own common stock in. But you want to YOLO some calls and something like this with a massive short interest. Once momentum is on your side,
tough to be short a name like this with the short interest. This thing's already gotten slammed. You could wake up any day now and it's been acquired because this thing's worthless. So somebody can get it on the cheap, right?
Yep. And also just look around you, right? These kinds of charts, whether it's Unity software or Zoom or even Snowflake, which just bombed another earnings report, they're not breaking down. The bears can't break these charts down. So at a certain point, if the bears aren't going to take them lower, you can only go sideways for so long. A lot of these things, look at Zoom or Peloton, that sideways forever. There's only one direction left. So a lot of these, call it speculative.
This is a good lesson because people are like, this is such a terrible company. How can the stock go up? Because in a lot of these cases, it has nothing to do with the company. It's the dynamics of the market and what the market is doing, which includes the short interest, which includes that a lot of this bad news has already been priced in. It's not a secret this company sucks. Like, just think about how bad of a company you need to be where the more products you produce, the more money you lose. Like, that's just not good equation. I'm no fundamental analyst over here, but like that makes sense to me. The more products you make, the more money you lose. Like, that's not good business. So the fact that even I know that, like, it's not a secret. So great example of a company could suck and the price of the stock could double.
Spoken about true business, man.
I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman.
Want to talk about some of the hot stocks today?
Yes.
Do we have that Kava chart floating around? I think we do. CAVA.
I didn't see much outside of the Kava and the workday this morning.
CAVA beat on the top, beat on the bottom, raised their guidance. Basically everything was good on this report. The margins went up, the same store sales went up, the traffic went up. Basically every number went up at or above expectations. So
I can't remember the last time I owned a restaurant stock. It's just tough. I think this industry group is better for a trade than an investment. There are very few McDonald's, Chipotle's, and Starbucks of the world. And even they, go through periods where they really
Wingstop, Texas Roadhouse.
They're trends, right? But they're trendy little moments and they blow up.
That Texas Roadhouse and that Wingstop have been a trend for a long time, my friend.
It's just, most of them don't last forever. I'm not saying that we don't have exceptions.
Most of them don't. Agreed. Most of them don't. And for every, Wingstop, there's a Bloomin' Brands or there's like, one of these other shitty ones, right?
There's
so
like, bad ones. Yeah.
There's a lot of bad ones, but the good ones don't care about those bad ones, you see. They don't care at all. It's like Wendy's sucks, right?
Can we talk about one that's like on trend right now? Because I know this is probably near and dear to your heart, you Miami man, you. The Crazy Chicken is breaking out to fresh cycle highs.
What?
Do you see,
what Crazy Chicken?
Do you see the bearish to bullish reversal in the Crazy Chicken?
Tell me more about the Pollo Loco.
The Loco is rocking. Talked about this one in Hot Corner yesterday, so. Shout out.
There's some transaction. I mean, it's really small. It's only 400 million for the Loco.
This is like a big regional thing in South Florida. Is that right, JC? We don't have them where I live, but as soon as I get out of the Keys, they're everywhere.
Do they own? They don't own. I don't know Pollo Loco, to be honest.
Oh, is this the one I always confuse with El Pollo Tropical?
Apparently, yes. Yeah, this is not Pollo Tropical.
And they're not the same?
I'm pretty sure they're not.
Somebody's stealing somebody's name.
Can I give you
Pollo
guys?
Tropical is owned by Authentic Restaurant Brands, ticker symbol ARB.
Can I read a headline in the fast food space that blew my mind the other day? I dropped in the morning show chat. Did you guys hear about the Chick-fil-A and what they're doing?
Oh,
what are they doing?
Yeah, and everyone on Twitter had the same exact joke.
What was it? I didn't see the joke. I missed the jokes.
Read the headline. I'll tell you the joke.
So, all right, where is it?
All right, I'll read the headline.
You got it?
Chick-fil-A is doing a streaming service.
Chick-fil-A is moving aggressively into the entertainment space with plans to launch a slate of originals for its own streaming platform. Can someone tell them that this is not a good business?
I had the Yum Yum sauce from Chick-fil-A the other day. It was good.
Yum Yum sauce.
Is that Yum Yum sauce? Like, you can actually buy them in the stores, and my brother-in-law had it.
Yeah, that's the orange goo.
Yeah, the orange goo. It's good.
Yeah, fantastic. I got it.
And then
what is
the
it?
joke.
It's just like Russian dressing. It's like mayo and ketchup, basically.
It's very good.
It's always
very
Russian dressing. The secret sauce is always
secret
Russian
sauce
dressing.
is always Russian dressing.
And then Steve, the joke was that are they going to have programming on Sundays? Hey, can I put this whole restaurant
If
thing?
they start having programming on Sundays, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know, their business could potentially increase by 12.5%. What's 17.5%, 16.5%, 16.66%? Is that what it is?
I want to wait. It's funny that you brought up Wingstop. Can I put this restaurant thing in perspective? Because I looked this up the other day. You guys hold Wingstop up as like the creme de la creme of the restaurant stocks, right? And I
one
guess
of them for sure.
Sure.
Have you had those lemon pepper wings? Have you had them?
Regardless, as great as Wingstop is, it is a smaller company still than Rivian, which you always look at that chart and say this company is crap. It's garbage. It's larger than a Wingstop. Something to think about.
Now do the returns.
Cars.
I'm just saying it's a larger company than Wingstop. So not
do
nothing.
the returns.
I'm just saying. All right. Hey, Fonz, you want to hop in here? What's going on? I think we have Fonz floating around in the background.
It's $11 billion. Most companies are larger than Wingstop, for the record.
I would love to talk about bonds too. All I want to do is talk about.
Wow, Steve Strazza, the bond king over here.
Yeah,
dude. Every day you want to talk about bonds. Who is this guy? I love it. I love it.
Listen,
all right, I'm bringing Fonz.
Fonz, come on. Ooh, Fonzarelli. What's up, my man?
Hey guys, how's it going?
What
is up? Just another day in the grind, baby. Just another day in the grind. Just looking for trades.
Fonz, before we talk about markets, can you tell everybody what you were just doing?
I went to Rome, to Italy, and to Pescara. Beautiful country, big city. Amazing. One of my favorites for sure. The food was amazing. The lasagna, the pasta. Very bullish on Italy. That's for sure.
You still haven't sent me any pictures of the food that you ate.
I will. I promise I will.
And then you went to Madrid, but not to hang out. That was just
I'm currently in Madrid. Yes.
Wow. Look at this international traveler.
Mr. International. Can we give a shout out to the Venezuelan Little League team beating Japan to advance to the finals? Shout out Venezuelan Little League team.
Nice.
How about that, huh? How about that?
Good. We're good in baseball. So
it's awesome.
It's true. These Venezuelans, they don't mess around. One of the best baseball players I ever played with my entire life was a Venezuelan guy. And he was a #1 draft pick. And I struck him out on a full count curveball to win the game. And I was waiting my whole life for him to become a superstar so I could say I struck him out on a full count curveball to win the game. And now he's in the Hall of Fame, but he actually never made it to the show. So I can never tell that story. Nobody will ever care.
Fonz, what do you want to talk about today? What's on your mind?
One of the big themes right now, or some of the big areas that catch my attention during this week, it's like the Amazons of the world. They look very good. Here is Amazon, a big base. Look at Mercado Libre. This is the Amazon of Latin America.
You're talking about the Amazons that are not Amazon.
Yeah, exactly. But they do. It's the same business, but in different regions of the world. So Mercado Libre, it's like the Amazon of Latin America. Look at that base, very similar to Amazon. Definitely the leaders. This is PDD Holdings, looking very good. That's from China. Here's Coupang. That's the South Korean Amazon. We like to call it that. For the first time above the VWAP from the IPO. Hooking higher from a reversal base. And you will notice big bases like Mercado Libre and Amazon. And on the other side, on the other hand, you will see like a big reversal basis. Here's Coupang and here is still limited. So definitely an area that catch my attention right now.
What's
That's
your
for
favorite
sure.
one? If you had to
I
buy
like-
one today.
I like Mercado Libre. Very, very clean. Monster base. It's been a leader, very near to new all-time highs. So I like that.
You know, the thing about this universe that we created of the Amazons around the world, literally none of them look bad. Like even Shopify. You see Shopify lately?
Yeah.
What a move off of those lows from a few weeks ago. Look at the Baba today out here getting it done. Fantastic.
Yeah, they look good. They look good. And as I told you before, big bases and big reversal consolidations shaping up right now. So an interesting.
Even the less good ones are starting to look really good. So it's just a great list.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You think China's ready?
Mm,
It's a loaded question, I know.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I will wait for confirmation. I'm read like an expansion in Chinese equities.
Do you ever really know with China?
No.
It's hard to know, you know.
Very difficult to know. Yeah.
No.
More questions than answers.
Definitely.
That's for sure.
All right,
That's
let's hit the recess. Let's hit the recess. We got work to do.
Yeah, we got to get out of here. All right, I guess I'll start. My recess is that yesterday I was reminded of a stock I had forgotten about. It was the only stock my dad ever bought for me. I don't know when he bought it, and because I've since closed the account it was in, I've moved it over. But the ticker is HOV, and all I know is I sold this thing in like mid to late 2020. That's all I know. I definitely sold it like in that time window. I forgot all about it. I looked at it yesterday. It would have been a 10 bagger if I had had it this entire time. I don't know. Anyway,
this chart looks incredible. It says it's a construction stock, so
it's a small home builder, and they build townhouses.
And I'm just gonna have to fill in for JC right now because he's gonna be disappointed that he missed this. But this is the HOVE, the H to the OV.
This is the HOVE. Yep.
You know.
I forgot all about it. I was like, hey, what's HOVE up to these days? Oh my God, it's $200. And I sold it like 20.
Wow. Look, it happens to the best of us, Spencer. We appreciate your honesty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It'll happen again.
Yep. That's what I got.
I got no recess. Like I said, I'm excited to go on my little.
Your recess is that Off the Charts is the latest episode is out as of a minute ago.
We had what was really, truly such a special interview to me last week. We taped this last Friday. This is Milton Marmonides of the Trade Exchange, which is a startup, market data startup. It's a forum, really, that I worked at for a while, like 10 years ago now. So I know Milton well. He's a great mentor to me. It was a really special conversation that we had, and I hope you all go listen to it and enjoy it, because I really did.
Okay, so Off the Charts, it's up on YouTube. It's up on our site, stockmarkettv.com. The podcast version is not up yet, but it will be up later today. Apple, Spotify, Off the Charts. Check it out.
When the goes crazy, this is literally the first guy I call.
All right, we have to go watch Jerome Powell. Fonz, you got anything?
I mean, love Europe. Very peaceful. You can walk in the streets. So I like it. I like it here.
Bullish Europe. Got it.
Yeah.
All right. We'll catch you guys on Monday. Have a good one.
Pow, pow.
Bye, guys.